Welcome back to Finance Fundamentals, here to help you with finance topics clearly explained. Today, we're diving into the world of rate conversions. We'll learn how to easily convert rates between basis points, percentages, and decimals. Like much else in finance, this stuff is super easy if you work with it every day. It quickly becomes instinctive, and most professionals probably find it hard to remember a time when they were ever puzzled or confused about how to turn a basis point into a decimal. So this video is probably going to be most useful to anyone who is studying finance for the first time. Or you might have seen these conversions before, but you are in a diversified study program and finance only comes up from time to time, maybe only once every academic year for a few weeks. Any stop-start approach like this can quickly get you into a mess, even with things that you understood before and now just feel hopelessly rusty about. This is normal, and you should never doubt your abilities or start thinking that you are not cut out for finance because you keep forgetting even the easiest bits. So wherever you are in your finance journey, student or even a seasoned professional, there might be something in this video for you. To get started, let's clarify what we're dealing with. A basis point is defined as 0.01%. I think the obvious question here is, how could such a tiny measuring unit ever be relevant? Well, it might seem insignificant at first glance, but it is widely used in finance because it is such a precise way of expressing changes or differences in rates, yields, and returns. And when you are dealing with large sums of money, even small changes in rates can have a big impact on the monetary amount of your cost of borrowing or return on investment. Percentages are probably already familiar to you, but perhaps too familiar because it is maybe too easy to forget that the percentage sign is a formal mathematical operator in which the indicated number is divided by 100. Decimals. These are simply another way to represent fractions using a decimal point to separate the whole number from the fractional part. Because 10% is 10 divided by 100, it can be represented in decimal format as 0.10. The difference between percentages and decimals is especially important when using a financial calculator. If you are using the TVM buttons, you need to enter your rate as a percentage. But if you are using an equation, such as the Gordon growth model, the rate must be entered as a decimal. Note that you normally don't use basis points in either situation, so you need to convert these first to percentage or decimal before you do your calculations. Now that we know what we're working with, let's move on to the conversions. Transforming a rate between basis point, percentage, and decimal formats is really straightforward. Here is my suggested approach. First, list the three different formats vertically in the order you see on your screen. You might want to use the initial letters B, P, and D to think up a good phrase that works for you to remember this order. Then, if you want to go down one step, divide by 100. For example, if you have 50 basis points and you need this as a percentage, which is one step lower down, the conversion is 50 divided by 100, which is 0.50%. Don't forget that all-important percentage sign. Then, if we want to go down one more step and convert our percentage to a decimal, we divide again by 100. This is the same as before because whenever you go one step down your vertical list, the number to divide by is 100. So 0.5% divided by 100 is 0.005. This time you need to remember to drop the percentage sign because the decimal format does not have any units. What if you wanted to go 2 steps down in one go, from basis points straight down to decimal format? For each single step down, you must divide by 100. So if you want to move down 2 steps simultaneously, you need to divide by 100 twice. 100 times 100 is 10,000. So to convert 50 basis points to decimal, you calculate 50 divided by 10,000, which equals 0.005. This is exactly the same result as we calculated before. You have probably already figured out where this is going next. To do any single step conversion which involves going up the list, you multiply by 100. So a decimal of 0.0025 is converted to a percentage as 0.0025 times 100 equals 0.25%. Once again, don't forget that percentage sign. Then, to go up another step, you multiply 0.25% by 100, converting the percentage amount to 25 basis points. Here, we need to ensure that we follow the number 25 with the correct unit being BPS. It is only the decimal that does not have a unit. Once again, we can do a 2-step conversion going up the list from decimal straight to basis points using 10,000 as the multiplier. So 0.0025 times 10,000 equals 25 basis points. One final insight about these conversions might be helpful to you. You sometimes hear a professor or YouTube presenter recommend that you set your calculator to show 4 places after the decimal point. In fact, I make the same recommendation to my students. But why 4? Well, one reason is that this very neatly shows the percentage point and basis point components of a decimal rate. The first 2 digits count the percentage points, and the last 2 digits count the basis points. For example, a value of 0.1125 on your calculator is easily interpreted as 11% plus 25 basis points, or 11.25%. And that's it. If this video was helpful, please consider letting me know with a comment or even just the like button. This really helps the channel with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much for watching.